Hello, good morning, ma'am. Dr. Pushpa Srinivas. It's so happy to see you today, my teacher. I'm meeting you after 41 years. Ma'am, can you please share about your professional journey?
Yeah, good good morning, Taumani. It is very nice to see you here, even myself after 40 years. Professional journey, as to say it, my father is a businessman coming from a home very small town, Gulbarga, but he was pro education. There was no gender bias for him. He was always wanting even the daughters also to study, and he wanted me to become doctor also. That was one thing which made me to become a doctor. The other thing to add to it, I had some, whenever the doctor used to come, I used to get fascinated with stethoscope, and I felt I also should say. And also many a number of times I was very simple that time, using only white sari and all that, because I wanted to become a doctor. White coat was very much important for me for that time. And later on I did my MBBS from Karnataka Medical College. Then I went to this Ahmedabad, Gujarat University to do my post graduation, MD and DCO. And later I came to Gulbarga, that is joined as a faculty MRMC Medical College as a lecturer, and then I became a reader in the same place with had a nursing home. My husband was also studying in MBBS. We are classmates right from PUC, and we got he got MD and then he did DM neurology. As far as I'm concerned, I think I am very happy into this profession. But this is the noble profession. I suppose it should not be commercialized. It should become remain as a noble profession. Maybe even poor or rich, caste and creed, nothing comes in the way for us. Everybody is same for us. And you know, I always used to tell VIP is that not very important person, politician or any other big position person. But I always felt VIP is the person who needs a care, and it is very person who is serious, and he needs this continuous monitoring of the patient. So I made my postgraduate students to sit, and not only that, I said you have to give me off and on the how he is progressing, so that I know that they are sitting and writing and down and all that. So the my postgraduate students, also undergraduate students, everything, they were very nice to me.
I am so blessed to have you as your teacher.
Thank you so much,
Because in
Tamani.
Mali Villas, I have done my internship with you,
Yeah.
and you have worked in many other hospitals also, no, ma'am?
Yeah. I have worked in many other hospitals because I was keen only on teaching. Teaching was my passion. And in that teaching, I wanted to choose only medical college. I got so many when I came to, my husband is a neurologist. He came to Bangalore and to join the NIMHANS, and he did from DM from under the very nice and very popularly known Dr. N.H. Wadia, who was the student of Russell Brain in UK. So I used to tell your Russell Brain is my grandfather. That's what I was telling to him, just to say it, because I always felt that he has worked in very great person. He has under that Srinivas has also worked. So I felt that it is very nice to have that connection. You know, without our knowledge, it has come to our connection. And I joined various medical colleges. That is, as soon as we came to Gulbarga, that is my hometown, and where we joined. And later on, I started my nursing home also. But since my husband was neurologist, he was not very happy to be in the Gulbarga small town. And I was the first lady doctor in that Gulbarga small town, you know. and people were feeling that ladies becoming doctor, but there were ladies. My father always told, there are so many ladies, there are so many Muslims, and they like to go to a lady doctor, so you must become a lady doctor. He made a nursing home for me when he was alive, taking into many things into consideration how the nursing home should be.
So nice.
To jump is from there that he had to join Nimhans, because for him it is a place, and he is also a good teacher. So he wanted to be working in a place like Nimhans, which is the one of the best institute into the Asia. So he joined over there. I started hunting. I closed my nursing home
Oh.
and then started hunting for my job in the private sector, also nursing homes. But I wasn't happy. People gave me the job, but I said no. My passion is teaching. That is all. So the teaching, it so happened that his Nimhan's professors, heads, Dr. Mani and also Dr. Ravi Verma, they were very much interested that they should help me. They did help me, and they got me a job in St. John's. I wasn't very happy in St. John's because it was just then started. There were no patients much. I had to go to St. Martha's. Later on, I said, no, this is not a place for me. Let me go to CMC Vellore because it is very well known. I left my 2 children with my husband and my sister, who was always staying with me, younger sister. So I went to CMC Vellore. I felt this is the place for me to work here. And by then, it is a story like, one can say that not expected. I had applied for PSC, this one, Bangalore Medical College, that is Karnataka state, for the post. But 4 years, I never got the reply. When I shifted to Bangalore, sent this one CMC Vellore, the letter was redirected from Gulbarga to Nimhans by this one, my brother. So after that, I got interviewed into by the PSC, that Public Service Commission, and I got selected, and I was very happy to be into Bangalore Medical College, which is the prestigious this one college, and all meritorious students are there. The cream of the students get admissions. Similarly, Taumani was a cream of a student. She also got into admission into the Bangalore Medical
We are so
College.
blessed to have met you there.
So I was very happy. I was having the postgraduate teacher students also, where I had to do the corrections and give the thesis to them or dissertation to them, and undergraduate students. I felt that undergraduate students get molded very easily if they are into the right place. And postgraduate students, in that there were 2 categories. One is the assistant surgeon category, another is the postgraduate student direct admission. Those who are direct, they are fresh, so they will understand better and all. But those who were earlier the specialist and all, they are already into the service, so naturally they would not be so much interested even if you become a student later on. But whatever said and done, I had a very great this one, and I think I am blessed because my teacher, he was very nice teacher, S.C. Pandya, and she was from Gujarat, and she was into the Vadilal Sarabhai General Hospital, superintendent, director, and the professor HOD of OBG. I followed her all instructions. Morning 7 a.m. she used to go for the round. But the questions, the way she used to ask, have you maintained this register? How many of them have come today admission? And what is the, have you made the data? How many were normal deliveries? How many were cesareans? What were the age? Every day we had to give the OPD duties as I was a student over there, postgraduate. So I had to give it to them. She was more faster, though she was, I am younger. And but she was very committed.
Yes.
And when OT day comes, the OT day, she will tell that right from we had four OTs, and each one was divided for each to assist each professor, and we used to get rotation wise. She was such a teacher that it is like a cricket commentary. Now I am opening the abdomen. The skin is open. Now you can see the subcutaneous fat. Then you can see the rectus sheath. So rectus sheath, how does it look like? Then, and then rectus sheath is cut. Then you see the muscle, and that muscles below that you have to separate, and then you have to see the muscle below that there is a peritoneum. How do you hold the peritoneum? And so that you don't injure the intestines. And later on, all the steps of hysterectomy, just like telling a cricket commentary. Then I thought I should take that from her,
Yes.
and I should teach the students everything.
Yes, ma'am.
Not only just theoretically, diagrammatic way also I should take. So that is how I felt very nice to be a student of hers. And she was also in the wards also, she would walk so fast. Somebody, we said, the FHS were present at 2 a.m., delivered at 6 a.m. The baby had stillborn. Why? Why did it have the stillborn? Were you sure that FHS were present? If it is present, why you allowed that to get to stillborn? So these are the things questioned, and said she will do a postmortem for that, for all of us, saying that you have. So this quality also I adopted from her. So I started maintaining the major OT register, minor OT register. I can't go on telling what all I did in every register.
But you are such a dynamic teacher, and we are all so blessed to have this. Ma'am, I also see that your husband is one of the famous neurologists, and you have two lovely children. How did you balance your profession as well as your personal life, ma'am?
See, I didn't, I knew what I can do. I was a homemaker also. I was having entertain the people also. And this is where all my thing, hospitality and all, it had come into my blood from my parents also. So this was, inculcated into my blood. I did not want to leave the home because the children also require attention. And then I did not want to leave the profession, the teaching profession, because that was my passion. But I sacrificed most of my obstetricians who make the, what is that called? MTP is a bread and butter.
bread and butter.
So lot of money one can do it as an obstetrician, as a surgeon. That I did little bit of it, only for 2 hours or in a day. But I was not passionate more into the practice. So that gave me the time for
spend
me
with
to
the
balance with my family as well as children. As a woman, I feel family has to be, once you get married, family is also important for us. It is not only the husband we are married. We are married to the family too.
Correct.
So naturally, I felt this is not this one to practice, go in the night, go in this one, and also here do the job. I will not be able to job satisfyingly. So this I was very sure.
That's why both your children are well educated. One is in Australia, one is in USA.
Yeah.
And you spend such a beautiful time in Bangalore, Australia and US. Ma'am, you have such a beautiful garden. How did you manage to maintain such a wonderful hobby of yours with such lovely gardens, ma'am? What were your hobbies along with your profession and your family, ma'am?
See, I think there were plenty of interest for me. I could joint family. So there it is, those days cooking and knitting, and that came to me as a part of it. And being in my father was a multilinguistic. So I know about 6 to 7 languages. So that is also there. And then we have grown up in the farm also, and that environment is totally different. Being with the plants, talking to the plants, you feel when we are sad, they are also sad. When we are happy, they are dancing with the moons. So I felt that this environment, natural environment, is very, very nice. And I thought we should have some fruits because the children are growing small. So I planted sapota, and then of course the gardener planted it, and well wishers put all my patients put this this one coconut tree. Some person put this one mango tree, and one person put this jackfruit tree. Another put the breadfruit tree. They were all Srinivas's patients. They have put it. In fact, I this one want to write a name on each tree, that who has given this particular plant with their names and all. So that is how the fruits came. And as I was cooking is my, though I don't cook, but I supervise. I passionate about it because as a child I used to be with my auntie, and she was perfectionist. It was perfection came to me from her, and that perfection can give some good effect also, the side effect also. That perfection I used to do sevaya, that what you call peni, small thing, kusrello, and chapati. They were all small things. They used to make me do that. I was loved by everybody.
Now we know the secret of your beautiful smile and your health at such a young age of 83. Ma'am, please tell one advice to the young budding doctors of this era.
I think budding doctors, one thing I can say, they are got exposed to the technology so much so, became the addict of Google. They started getting the knowledge from this one, but not direct think from the patient. Which one should do it? So the patients nowadays, everything has become so much robotic surgery and all. It is okay. You do robotic surgery, you do endoscopic surgery, but you will have to know a laparotomy to be done, because that is the main thing which you have to learn the first. If you don't learn that, in case if something happens from the endoscopic surgery, you will have to open the abdomen. When you open the abdomen, you don't know the way of doing it. Only the endoscopy and robots were doing it all. So don't depend only on that. Try to learn first the routine, conventional way of our doing surgeries. And Boni is the surgery master, or you can say the father of this one surgeon. So you must have that one. And money is not the only thing in life. People have become materialistic. It started, I think, with the IT people who start by 40 years, they earn enough money, they can retire. Whereas the doctors, we don't. So that comparison started. And then medicine become commercialized. So that commercialization should not be there. One-to-one attention, direct contact with patient. Now AI will come, AI will give everything, talk there. Is there a direct contact with the patient? Will the patient be happy? You may diagnose, you may treat by the robotic surgery. You may have, but it is not going to have the contact. I personally believe patients are our treasures of life. And I still feel a touch on your daughter makes you so happy. A granddaughter comes to you, she hugs you, and you feel so happy. What will AI do that? That happiness will that give it? It is okay. Use it meticulously in a way which it has to be used, not misuse of it. That is what I tell. Balance, don't be after the money. Balance yourself. Your children are there. They require parenting. So do that parenting and don't miss that one. Otherwise, you will miss in your life the greatest assets which was given to you. You are not cared for that. So don't do that. So it is possible. Understand what you want in life. Ask yourself that this is what I want in life. You want to go for money only, then you have to sacrifice other part of it. You want to balance, you can balance your profession, you can balance the house, you can balance your relatives, and you can look after the children only when you say you have to sacrifice something to get something. I think
Okay.
these are very, very important to balance and pursue whatever is your passion. I am not against it. But take care of your children. They are our future generation. You know what is all happening now. So I suppose the future generation, our knowledge, not knowledge, the wisdom has to be given that. And have a basis of some spirituality. Spirituality doesn't mean like you have to be only doing morning to evening mantras or you to become sannyasi and all. It is not that. Whatever you do good to others is a spirituality. Whatever you do yourself, true to yourself, is a spirituality. So you think in all this way and then you will become successful. Successful is not the only thing answer. You should cherish, people should cherish memories when we part from this world. That
Right.
this person, to say it, one of my student, I mean, if it is not too late for you to just to give you, it is one of our students, undergraduate student, he said that then they posted, the other students said, no Baba, I don't want Pushpa Srinivas student, she is very strict and she is very, too much oriented into the discipline and it will become difficult for us. Then some of them who do not have influence, they had to be posted to my unit. And he wrote to me, Madam, when we started unit, we were feeling feverish and fear like this. But now at the end of this thing,
So
they say, Madam, you are the gem
So
of a person. But I should not say that. It is told by them.
Yes.
Though I accept that
Yes.
as to boost myself, to give it to you more.
Yes, ma'am.
So that
Thank
is what I say it.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your valuable time. Definitely, this will help many students who can balance their personal, professional hobbies as well as a life lesson. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.